Happy Monday. This is Jameson Mitchell, your intuitive guidance counselor, here with your weekend tarot. This week we're going to be using the Robin Wood Tarot, and for those of you who have been following my videos and my blog posts, know that I take the deck and I separate it into three piles. The first pile is going to represent our theme for the week, and the pile consists of the 22 major arcana cards. The middle pile is going to be our people cards or our court cards, and they're going to represent the approach that tarot is asking us to consider taking as we move through the week. And then the last pile is the remaining minor arcana cards, and the card from this pile is going to represent, based on the approach, what other actions we can take as we move towards the end of the week. So having said that, I'm going to take the first pile, shuffle. And our card for the week, as far as the theme is the Chariot. The Chariot is all about focusing on where we're headed in life. So this week we're asked to think about the bigger picture in terms of our life direction and how can we move forward with that. This card is about progression, advancement, moving forward. There are two horses in front of the charioteer, and one is black and one is white. So for me, when I see black and white, there's a tendency here to do what's called black and white thinking, and which means going to extremes. If you look at the picture, each horse is facing a different direction. So it could be like part of the challenge is that we're pulled in more than one direction, and how can we kind of find the middle ground between the two extremes. Black and white is repeated on the card several times, and so that's a form of balance. It's saying that not everything is going to be all black and not everything is going to be all white, and so sometimes you have to find that gray area in the middle. But this card is about moving forward, progression, and advancement, but it's a bigger picture of your life direction. I'm looking at the picture here, and he's also playing a harp, which is something of an instrument. So it's like, how can you be more instrumental, or what instrumental things do you need to move forward in your life and its direction? So that's our theme. Now we're going with our approach. Oh, okay, that card jumped out, so that's always significant. Okay, and so our approach card is the Page of Wands, going with the idea of your life moving in a new direction or course correction. This card is asking us to consider how can we be eager and enthusiastic about that. Pages represent a learning stage of development, so this is saying that once we move in this new direction, we're not going to know everything there is to know about the direction, and we're going to learn as we go along. Another thing about pages is that they represent news or messages we need to have, so I'm going to draw another card at the end to see what the message of this particular page is. Okay, but usually the message is something of a good news or something that we can be eager and enthusiastic about. Okay, so now our last card. Okay, that one. And this is the Six of Wands. Okay, so now we have two wands here. Wands as a suit, since it's the ruling majority here, represents intention and action. It also represents inspiration and motivation. It's a suit that's associated with work, business, or enterprise, or something of a creative endeavor. So these two cards are asking us to really be in touch with what it is that we're passionate about. And so going back to the Chariot, you have to have your passion as the fuel in order to move you forward. So this week we're being asked to think about what is it that we're really passionate about. But the Six of Wands in particular, this is a card of achieving a breakthrough. And as I'm looking at the two cards on each side here, the Chariot and the Six of Wands, both the Charioteer has horses and then the Six of Wands has horses. So it's about power and moving under that power. The Six of Wands is about a triumph, a victory, a success. Like I said before, achieving a breakthrough. This card is about recognition. So your efforts are being recognized. This card is about praise, acclaim, support. if you look at the background here, there are people cheering the man on the horse as he moves forward. So it's like, who is going to be your cheerleaders this week? Who is going to be your support system as you move through this week? Who are your fans? You know, who is your fan base? This card can also be about public speaking. So going along with the Page of Wands, the Page of Wands can be about broadcasting or sharing a message. So this card would reinforce that. And if that's the case, who is your audience? Who are you speaking to? What's the message that you have for them? What's going to inspire them? What's going to motivate them? What's going to motivate them to take action? Because wands are about not just the intention, but also taking action. So that's the outcome for the week. If you take it by the end of the week, you probably will succeed. Will see a significant breakthrough. Okay, so now going back to the Page of Wands, I'm going to take the Minor Arcana pile again and see what the message might be here. Oh, okay. Card turned over, so I'm going to pull that one. This is the Ten of Pentacles. So now the Ten of Pentacles is all about material success. This is about prosperity, and prosperity is not just money, but prosperity all across the board. So this card is suggesting that, you know, taking a look at how can you be more prosperous in all areas of your life, not just with money. This card is asking us to look at our history. In the picture here, there's the patriarch and the grandchildren, and then there's a man and a woman in the background. And so this represents generations. So this is an entire community or family, generationally speaking, that are all together. So, but it's asking us to look at what our history is. And in terms of moving forward and what your message might be, is what do you want to leave behind? If you imagine that you're the patriarch here, what's the legacy that you want to leave behind for the generations that come after you? And so start thinking about that. If you're here, what do you want to be known for? You know, so that goes back to looking at the message. What is it that you want to share with people, you know, while you're here and then possibly after you've gone? So, but this card is about, and as we move forward, sometimes we have to move away from our old family influences. When I see this as history, it's like something, we all have family history, and some of it's good and some of it's not so good. So the parts of it that are not so good, how can you move away from that in a healthy way? So, okay, so summing up, the Chariot is all about looking at our direction and how we move forward. The Page of Wands is all about that learning stage of development. You know, what are you eager about? What are you enthusiastic about? And how can you take that forward? And then the Six of Wands is all about putting yourself out there, gaining recognition. Your efforts are being rewarded. You're going to have a significant breakthrough. But who are the people that are supporting you? Who are cheering you on? What do you have for them as they cheer you on? What are you providing for them in terms of inspiration and motivation? And then the Ten of Pentacles is looking at your history. You know, looking at where you've been, where you are, and where you're going, but also what do you want to leave behind saying that you were here. So I hope that was helpful. Again, this is Jameson Mitchell, your intuitive guidance counselor, here with your Rican Tarot, and I'll be back with you again next week. And until then, take care.